everyone. So first off, I should start by saying I'm sorry for how my voice sounds today. I am getting over being sick and I'm feeling a lot better, but my voice is still nasally and all that. But I want to get this video done before I forget all the whole thought process behind this pivot that I'm making. Um so yeah, if you saw my last project, you will see that I have started trying to make a comic. I'm very excited about this project. I've been working on it for a while, and it was a recent decision to complete this project as a webcomic instead of an animated series. And there were a number of reasons behind that decision. The first biggest reason being essentially that animation is really freaking hard, man. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of work. You have to master a lot of skills to be able to do it on your own and to do it in any kind of decent way. And particularly for this project, there was no way I would be able to tell this story with the resources that I have, and do it justice. I'd love to make it animated. I think it would be very cool, but you know, as my motto is completion over perfection. I want to make this project at all, and animation just isn't a viable way for that to happen. And as I've been working on animation more, you know, this leading into the second reason, is story is what I actually value more than the art. That is what I have learned about my craft. I want to tell good stories, and I have been finding the medium of animation extremely limiting in the stories that I can tell, in terms of runtime, in terms of complexity, because my resources are just so limited. I don't have the time to make really complex animations and to tell complex long stories in that medium. I just can't do justice to my ideas in that way. So, in looking for ways to tell these stories, I came across the idea of making comics. I'm not sure what made me finally accept that comics would be a good idea, because I thought about it before, but always felt a little apprehensive about the idea of making comics. I love including music and sound in my work. I also feel pretty daunted by laying out pages. I'm more used to storyboarding in like a aspect ratio that doesn't really change. So comics were daunting to me. It's a different medium. But there are some advantages to comics that I'm excited about. Mainly that I could, with the same amount of time and effort, tell way more story than I could with animation. Because it's fewer drawings. That's not to say comics are easier. I will be making another video about the challenges of comics, but yeah, comics are great. I think another big reason is that comics allow for a lot more flexibility in the format. You know, I can distribute my comic digitally on like Webtoon or something. I could also print it, which sounds like so much fun to have physically your story, your work in your hands. I'd be down for that. I would love to do that. And then also a new idea I had is maybe I could take some of my experience with animation and try making animated dubs, or probably not animating it. I just don't have the time for that at the moment. But I could make video editions with sound effects and voiceovers. That would be very cool. I will have to do more research on how that could happen. But that flexibility would also allow me to perhaps reach other, like, wider audiences, which, I mean, that's also scary because more people seeing your work, but also potentially very helpful because, I mean, as much as I don't want to have to think about money with my art, we do live in a society and I got bills that I will need to be paying. And, you know, whether or not I want to make art a career, it's one of my few options here, and in order to do that, I'm gonna need people to see my work, and comics will give me more opportunities to do that. So that's my thought process in making a pivot from making mainly animated content to making comics. This should be a fun adventure. I'm very excited about this story in particular. We'll see. I mean, I'm thinking maybe I need to change my name from KE Animation, since it might not be so accurate anymore. But I hope that you all will enjoy this journey with me. Have a good one.